Hello, everybody, and this is Emotional Healing Through Magic with Rainbow Fairy Lion. I'm going to be doing a jar spell with you today, and it's highly experimental magic, and you have to be comfortable with getting intoxicated in your spellcraft, which most traditions teach that you get intoxicated after. But that's one of the ways where my personal path differs. I find it helpful with alternative states of mind to do magic high or whatever. But this is a spell that I've been meaning to share with you guys. It's a wonderful attraction and manifestation spell. Basically, whatever you put in this jar, whatever your desires that you write down and put in this jar is going to be this jar is going to be a wonderful catalyst for having it all over you like a drunken prom date, basically. And that's the whole principle behind it. My spell it's another spell in the jar spell series that I'm doing. I will be more specific as far as what I'm doing. But this is my crossfaded jar spell. Come along with me and let's do some experimental magic. To my knowledge, I am the only one who has done this spell. But it actually works extremely well. It's like a combination of a drunken hoodoo jar but it makes it stronger and enhances it to put the cannabis in. Just a moment. Okay, so this is a little history on my crossfaded jar. I started working it right around the time of Mabon, when I had some new contact with one of the elder gods from the Greek pantheon, Dionysus. He's the god of wine and revelry. And I just wanted to give you a little history on some of the different ways you can do it. The first time I did it in the regular wine bottle, like you see here. It kind of adds some witchy aesthetic. It kind of adds some good things to it to just do it in the bottle of wine. You'd have to remove a lot of it first, drink a satisfactory amount before you do it, because it would taint your herbs into the wine. But that's one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is in the weed jar itself. Is a very effective way to do it if you want to turn up the weed's properties a little bit more, or not go for as much of an aesthetic and just have something that you can work and then when you're done with it, simply toss it a little bit better. This spell is without further ado, I'm going to get into the magic. The third way you can do it is in a jar or a container of some sort that you find. I've just got a mason jar here. It's a wonderful way to do this spell. For demonstration purposes, it's the best way. Don't get any plastic containers. Get glass containers, because they have better resonance and they actually have a crystalline structure, whereas plastic doesn't. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write your petition paper, what you want. And I'm going to do this in the traditional hoodoo manner that I borrowed from hoodoo, which is no machine cut edges. write a whole bunch of symbols, what you want to attract. Make the petition paper your own, okay? Now I'm going to be using this one for a kind of like relationship purposes, kind of that kind of thing. You can work it for money. It's excellent for money. That was that one I just showed you. And then in order to assign my spiritual authority to this, I usually do my public Wiccan name crossed by my birth date, like that. I'm not going to show you my intention because that's private. Should always, exactly what you are casting should always be a little bit secret. That's the root word of the term sacred, is secret. And you bung it in there. Now, I have a habit of blessing stones, and this is a piece of rose quartz that I blessed with to be a stone of male homoerotic energy. And we're going to bung that in there. I can teach you guys how to do that later if you want. Bless a stone. It's real easy. And then we put our cannabis in there. Have a little cannabis. It's been lying around for a while, kind of old. You don't want to put your good stuff in here because you're not going to be using it for you. You know what I mean? It's going to be in here. A little cannabis. Then I thought, since we're doing a love working today, I wouldn't go with the grape because that's better for money. And I stick a little bit of, this is Mad Dog 2020 Dragon Fruit Wine. Now, when you're working this kind of spell, it is helpful to get into the mindset. So while you're working magic to get something crossfaded, you're working magic, you're getting yourself crossfaded. And that way you kind of meet your intention where you want to put it. Now I'm going to go take it a step further. Now you really only need, that's really all you need for this spell. If you've got a little wine, a nice little stone, a piece of paper, and a mason jar, and a little candle, you're fine. But I also wanted to go ahead and elaborate a little bit further on this. Maybe take it with you guys a little bit more. And so down the hatch. I usually don't drink in the middle of the day, but I'm a YouTuber. If it's part of the job, it's part of the job right now. going to go ahead and... Okay, vanilla. A lot of people really underestimate vanilla as a love spice. But it is love, lust, and mental powers if you look it up in any magical dictionary. So it enhances your intent a lot. A lot. For love. It's actually thought of as an aphrodisiac in most countries, where they're kind of a little more in touch with nature. And it was one of its original uses, medical uses in Elizabethan England. So a little bit of powdered vanilla, just like you'd put in your latte. And this is where it gets a little more specific. To things involving people's relationships and stuff, and I'm so glad to share this spell with you, but I am also want to do a disclaimer. This is not based on anybody's viewpoint. This is just my own purposes, okay? So, don't get flippy-dippy on me over civil rights issues and stuff, because I am apolitical and I really don't care. But here's where you want to take a little bit of my herbal advice, okay? This is lavender. You want to put a little lavender in there if you want it to be a same-sex situation. And it goes... Put 3 in there, it's my magical number. Juniper berries are very, very good for good influences and blessings. So I put a little bit of juniper berries in there. Now, if you live in a area where juniper grows well, you can go out and harvest these, but I just got these from the health food store. You want to be kind of liberal with them, but being kind of liberal with them is a little bit less juniper berries, I found out, than people normally think, because they're really potent. Ingredient. And then you want to add the allspice for good luck. And ginger for success. And you only want to add a small amount of each herb, really. Herbs are very potent and they're also very expensive. So you might want to not want to add as much as me. You might want to add as much as me. You might want to experiment around. And anyway, when you're done, it should look like that. Lots of herbs, your intention, your stone, your wine, your cannabis. And then you slap the lid on, because that's about all that's going to go in there. You can also shake jars. It's perfectly acceptable to shake jar spells as long as you don't break them. But this tends to make things happen, make changes in specifics. It's a good thing to do. And then you just take your red candle or whatever candle correspondence you need for your intention, whatever you want to be manifesting hardcore in your life like that. And you light it. And this is something I've been visualizing a lot lately, but you tend to take the time to visualize, kind of gaze into the candle flame, things like that. I've always done the work kind of beforehand with the visualization, just because this is something I wanted so bad. But it helps when you have that connection with the candle and the spell and everything. But really take the time to picture what you want to happen. Really take the time to picture it. Take the time to go there in your head. Go into the in state of your wanting. I believe that's the Jungian term for it. And really go there and just have your desire while you don't have your desire. That's why affirmations are stated in the here and now. The here and now is the only thing that's real, technically. So, just wanted to share this little blessing with you. And as always, may we be blessed. Blessed be. Bye.